0 up. If you've just joined us, Azubu Frost now as the blue side. Have they built a team to counter that Orianna of Froggen? Orianna 100% in this tournament, absolutely destroying the opposition so far. Big smiles across CLGEu's face there. Yellow Pete seems very happy with that. He's got a big grin across his face, as is Froggen. Will we see anything from level 1?
We see 5 members of Azubu Frost going up Wicked with the Scout, though. If anything happens, it'll be a trade of buffs, if I'm going to predict this, but CLGEu actually trying fairly hard to defend their own jungle. We do see Nunu and Kog'Maw going in down the bottom way, and they're scouting it very easily with the Orianna ball. They have those big smiles, because really, they're the ones with Orianna. They think they won that pick and bans, hands down. Most people were predicting that we'd never see another Orianna after her just repeated dominant performance. Azubu Frost letting it through, and level 1 does look like they're just repelling each other. Wards, Fear, no one really wanted to walk into the other team's brush.
So looking like CLGEu might go for the Wraiths. We can see the ward just aggressively in that Wraiths area. Pretty much identical wards back and forth, except Azubu Frost to put one in that tri-bush. Very early one in that top lane. Again, no boots from either supports. We are seeing a pink ward coming out, of course, from Crepo. We'll check that one out when he puts that down on that bottom lane, where I'm suspecting it will go in towards that tri-bush, maybe trying to help for an early gank coming out. But they are going to try and steal away the Wraiths. CLGEu backing up from this one. They don't feel they can do anything off the back and go straight in towards any level 1 fight.
And they actually have Nunu Cog up top taking the double golems. There's a ward on this red buff, so they'll see them taking it, and they'll know that they have 3 people here. They might try to scare them away. I don't think Azubu Frost is going to get scared. They're going to take this with Smite. Snoop is going to take his blue buff down on the other side, and this is actually a good start for Azubu Frost, because I don't know if Snoop can actually get control of any of his other buffs based on the fact that they didn't counter invade a red. That could be an early game win for Azubu.
Could well be an early game.
Snoop going for the red, however. They're going to expect him to come in here, I swear. They don't have any ward set up, though, and that's actually a CLG ward in that brush. He's popping potions, he's getting the race down, and they're actually going to let Snoop just come through here. He's scared, he thinks they saw him, he's not even going to go for red. He's content with just the race steal.
So we can see the lanes setting up as they are. I would say standard lanes, because we're seeing the double AD supports up top lane this time.
It's almost standard at the fact in this tournament. You see them against each other, whether it's in bottom or top. It is support AD versus support AD, and in that lane, especially up top, you do favor Woong and Madlife right now. The Sona Ezreal, immense, incredible poke. And Azubu actually is a team that has went out and stated they don't think Nunu's strong. And that's in large part to Madlife's skills on Sona and his ability to poke down Nunu lanes. Snoop trying to go up top. Maybe, I think he's just clearing out his jungle. And really, Yellow Pete and Crepo have to survive that lane. There's a big advantage there, really, for Ez and Sona.
And here we are with the mid lane. Orianna versus Ahri. Is Ahri the answer to the Orianna puzzle?
It's going to be very tricky. Early on, they're just going to be shoving back and forth. We'll end up seeing it once they hit level 6. Ahri, very good at roaming around to other lanes and creating action. They might just try to tower dive onto Kog'Maw, roaming up in the top lane. Maybe she'll just try to straight up solo Froggen's Orianna. Ahri is all about that early mid-game spike. If she can get there in a lead, that's when you'll see Rapid Star trying to punish. It's just a matter of getting to that point. Snoop early on shut down in the jungle. He's not going to have much early game presence. They are looking pretty good right now.
And of course the bottom lane as well. It is the Shen versus Vladimir. I mean, that's a tough lane for Wicked to deal with, I would have feel.
And even early on, it is ranged versus essentially melee, and Shy's Vladimir is an early game bully. Isn't always that way. A lot of things do shut down Vlad early, but definitely not Wicked Shen. Getting pressed around, 20 minions to 17. He's staying very even, but I think the overall pressure advantage definitely goes to Shy in that lane.
So Snoopy trying to get up towards the top lane, but Madlife and Woong had that ward, and he's still going to get poked out, actually. Snoopy tried to just back away. You can see they shredded his health down to half straight away. Meanwhile, Cloud Templar sitting, waiting. Is he going to go for Froggen?
Froggen might want to flash him into the tower if he comes in.
He's going to go in. That's going to be the Twisted Fate. Pulls him all towards the tower. Has he got the damage to try and pull back onto Cloud Templar? He's just going to force away. But that was the flash burn there, and this big, huge creep wave on the bottom here for Wicked. He's happy to find the turret, though. He should be able to pick up most of the CS and deal with this.
And look at this. Snoopy coming out of base with 2 wards. He's going to try to save Froggen here. Froggen just had to burn his flash for that Maokai gank, so Snoopy needs to ward both of the entrances. He covers one himself. in mid lane. Snoopy is going to cover the other. If he gets ganked again by Maokai and he's not in his tower, he is going to die unless Snoopy is there to save him. That's why he's bought the 2 early wards. Really, CLG trying to stall this one out. They know it's going to be a race against time, as it seems to always be for CLG. But if he flash ults or flash gets the gank right here, Froggen's going to die.
Froggen is very close. There's the flash. There's the twisted advance. Snoopy's luckily there, but the charms landed across Froggen. Froggen will go down first blood to Rapid Star, and Snoopy was not quite there in time. He had just come down and put the ward at Wraiths, but it was not enough.
They didn't get the wards out soon enough, and Snoopy was not in position to stop that. That was brilliantly set up. One gank into the next, what we see so much. Snoopy still level 3, walking through a ward. Azubu Frost saw him, but they aren't backing out. They don't need to. Look how low CLGEu is. They're going to just try to poke back, and he can just escape this, it looks like.
Have they got enough? I don't think they have. Yellow Peak doesn't want to get close to this one, and Snoopy's taking a lot of damage. Immediately, they are really starting to struggle out in the lanes. Azubu Frost, we've seen it before, are very strong in that lane phase, and it's CLGEu that need the pressure on them.
And Rapid Star's level 6, trying to roam up into this top lane. They're going to just take this turret right here or tower dive. When they see that they've been gone, I expect them to just take an early turret. They're trying to jump on CLG. 1,400 gold lead already, and it's going to balloon if they're able to take this turret.
They are pressuring it. They are all over the turret. I'm not sure they got the creep wave to try and take it down. They're going to back away. Mad Life is backing off. There is another wave coming in. If Wound wants to push for it, they could take it. But instead, they must want to keep this lane phase going.
And when you actually look at this here, 51 mini kills to Wound, 26 to Yellow Pete. So that's Sona Ezreal destroying their lane up top. They actually want to extend that for as long as possible. The bigger lead that Wound can get on Yellow Pete while they have this isolated 2v2, the better. They're winning every lane, really hands down. The gank onto Froggen. Snoopy's down in the jungle big because of the early game. Sona Ez, no way of CLG for dealing it right now. And even the bottom lane is the closest one, shy even in minion kills. That's going to be their really last hope to turn around. Wicked's going to have to Shen ult in and turn something, but that's just going to give them a lane advantage. This is looking great for Azubu Frost early, and they need it.
So potential early Deathfire Grasp going to come out from Ari. The first item's going to go for. The question is, how is Froggen going to deal with it? When Mercury Treads wanted to keep that charm down to a bare minimum. As it stands, Cloud Templar's really helped out with that Maokai. We saw it with Snoopy in the last game, how strong Maokai can be coming out to help with those ganks.
Especially when Maokai gets ahead early. They managed to invade red. There's actually I Will Dominate talking in the back saying, I see other teams play Maokai and it looks like the funnest thing in the world. It's because they protect him early game. He's actually one of the most snowbally junglers. The fact they were able to control buffs and get him the first blood means he's in complete control now. He has the Oracle's Elixir. Cloud Templar running up towards the top lane, going to be clearing out another ward and just keeping the pressure on this map in general. Froggen with those Mercury Treads, even though it's going to help him from ganks, it's going to completely kill his aggression and his threat for the foreseeable future until he gets a huge amount of ability power. This is an immense amount of Azubu Frost pressure, and I can't stress enough how important it is for them to strike soon.
So Orianna just got the blue buff, needs to be careful that Cloud Templar doesn't come around again. You can see he was just trying to pick up those Wraiths. Froggen wanted to get on that, but Cloud Templar interrupting them. Yellow Pink and Crappo were ready for that one. They wanted to try and start something there. They are going to try and take the red buff away, which means they're going to help out. Is it going to be Yellow Pete that picks it up? We are seeing Snoopy coming round. Is he going to finish it off for them? Who they're going to give it to is going to be Yellow Pete, so they've realized they need the pressure. They need that extra damage on that top lane.
And this is really CLG looking for counter ganks. The reason they wanted to have Yellow Pete and Creppo down there is because they were hoping that they were getting invaded and Wicked would ult in. Snoopy just going back. This could be a dive onto Yellow Pete. Wicked could try to ult in, but that wouldn't be enough to save Yellow Pete if they get in here before Creppo gets back. They're not shoving the lane very fast, but they really want to kill him here.
Yeah, he is all on his own. We just saw Snoopy back off. The wave now coming in. Yellow Pete has got to be where it. Look at that.
They sense
Spider
it.
sense is coming in. But, oh, and he's hit level 6. Is it going to be enough to poke away? Ari's going to come around, and he's backed away. Wisely done there. Yellow Pete, spider sense is tingling there. There was no vision at all. And we saw Snoopy go back on that corner. They're just going to have to give up the turret.
And with that, that's 2,500 gold advantage. Only 9 minutes, 40 seconds into the game. Cloud Templar more than happily holding off this mid lane. And Froggen, with the Mercury Treads, can't get aggressive. Ari, despite not roaming anywhere successfully yet, has a Deathfire Grasp at 10 minutes. That roam is going to be a kill when she gets somewhere. She is going to burst down whoever they eventually decide to tower dive. It could very well be Froggen. It's just a matter of CLG stalling. This ends up being the case every game because they are down early and there's no way they can fight now, especially with the way they're playing and especially with their itemization choices. It's all about Azubu Frost pressure here and now.
So CLGEu 1-0 up with a clever little poke comp in the first game. Can Orianna hold that 100% record for CLGEU, or have Azubu Frost figured out how to defeat them? And it seems to be working very well. We see the lane swaps, we see the dragon push. You can see Gunwung now down that bottom. Wicked has just gone back. Azubu Frost has got this dragon completely for free.
And Woong's not even going to have to leave his lane. They're going to try to get another fast push tower down after this one. They're not even getting low on this dragon, really. So much healing coming out for Cloud Templar. 3,500 early game gold. This could be too passive for CLGEu. They've fallen so far behind. They haven't been able to counter any of their aggression, and they're getting pushed around by Azubu Frost right now. This bottom turret already at half health. Cloud Templar actually getting caught up by Wicked. He flashes away. Ooh, that would have been a close one. And now the aggression is on. Half health on that bottom turret. They've swapped lanes. Yellowpi's trying to recover. It's on them to keep pressing.
Snoopy still has got that flash. Could also flash impale someone. Is hanging around that bottom lane. But Yellowpi is off on the top. He's farming. We've got, looks like Cloud Templars just coming down to try and see if you can try and stir up some trouble. Poking the Hornet's Nest. Meanwhile, Rapid Star and Froggen just having a little back and forward in the middle. Cloud Templar is still lingering. I think he's been spotted by the ward that was above, though. It was in the tri-bush. He hasn't shown himself. Now he will, and he'll clear that ward out. And that's actually going to cause... Is it going to cause Wicked to go back? No, it's causing Snoopy to come down. They're going to try and dive it. Cloud Templar trying to be aggressive. They're trying to push on towards the turret. The turret at the moment, and that's going to be a flash engage straight towards the cross. Wicked is trying to get aggressive. Went for good work, saving out the turret. Might be a little bit too late, though, because that turret is already almost down.
And he had to burn his flash for that, so the next engage isn't going to be so easy. If there is a saving grace for them, it is the fact that Yellowpi got a bit of free farm there and is only 30 minions behind Gunwung. But if they get another turret down, it's just going to snowball into the third turret kill in the mid lane because they're getting a huge amount of global gold kicking here. Orianna is out farming Rapid Star's Ahri in the mid lane by about 12, but the kill advantage is going to even out. And this is just pressure by Azubu Frost.
It is
Turrets
pressure
going down.
But we're also seeing classic CLG. Where they've said themselves, you know, we've just got to play safe against Azubu Frost. Wow, if they get the turret off the back of this, I'll be gobsmacked. Yeah, immediately the True Shot Barrage goes across. That's going to keep them to go away. They did manage to take half the hit points off it, but Froggen, if they fall behind, will just stay up the side and continue farming until they get themselves back into it. Normally the half-hour mark. The question is, will Azubu Frost allow them to get there? Yellowpi, again, like we said, while all that was happening, that positioning, that posturing down the bottom for that singular turret, the outer turret, they were just farming away. And
Rapid Star really trying to work around and find his fight. Smart items actually coming out by CLGEu. The Wit's End on Wicked, because of the double AP composition that Azubu Frost has pulled out, is going to help him a lot when team fights do break out, if they try to defend something. Rapid Star, even though he's had the DFD rush, and even though he's on Ahri, has yet to pull any ganks off. And here's a potential blue invade. Snoopy's going to try to come in with the steal, but there's a lot of poke coming in. They get the crescendo!
And there's Tristan advance as well. Crepo's coming around the side. Crepo needs to back the hell out of this one. He's in a horrible position. He's going to have to use flash. He's just trying to bait him away from the blue. But that was Snoopy going down and didn't check when they had Oracles on. Froggen's going to get caught out. That's going to be the Orianna ultimate. Trying to keep Rapid Star away, but Rapid Star will finish it off on the turret. Really great play from Azubu Frost here. And of course they picked up the blue. I believe it was Woong that's managed to get that one. And they're going to turn on towards this bottom turret. Shine has got to be careful. Wicked is going to back up. There's absolutely no hit points left on that turret. Just a little bit of poke back and forth between Azubu Frost, and they'll have themselves the second turret of the game.
And they smell it here. As soon as we said that Rapid Star hadn't created with that DFG, he solos Froggen as he tries to come over to the blue buff. They got the crescendo on to kill Snoopy. That's going to put him even farther behind. Second turret of the game. 5,000 gold advantage. Only 15 minutes into the game. Mid turret's going to be next. Everyone on CLGEu frantically trying to keep up, trying not to get caught out of position, trying not to fall too far behind, but they are falling behind fast right now. This is the biggest early gold advantage I've seen someone have on CLGEu this tournament. And it has to be this way for Azubu Frost because this is very much an all-in composition for them.
All-in composition. And, you know, is Ahri the answer? That's the question. It seems to be so far. Is he getting that charm, doing enough damage before Froggen can pull out the shockwave? You know, it seemed really late in the fight until he finally got that shockwave out.
And he couldn't locked down Rapid Star. The Oriana with the triple dash made it so hard for Froggen to position the ball in the right place, and even when he landed it, Rapid Star just dashed again and got the kill. And especially just looking across the board, no one's that strong yet for them. Yellow Pete only has a pickaxe. Like, this is way too early for CLG to want to do things, and it's getting forced way too fast on them. The boots and mobility coming out from Cloud Templar. He's going to be getting a Shirelia's Reverie. They don't even care about the Aegis of Legion. They're all about just getting into fights immediately, not letting CLGEu disengage. They saw enough of that in the last game with the poke composition. And again, Rapid Star seems to be living anywhere but the mid lane, just putting fear into the other lanes, and this mid lane is getting pressured. He could come out of here and try to dive it when they push the next wave. He's
got the charm available, though. He's going to get a straight attack ball from Froggen there. They were ready and waiting to dive on towards that turret. I'm not too sure whether Froggen and Snoopy could have defended against it. It's a 4-man push here from Azubu Frost. And look, they're already backing away from that turret. The turret getting poked down, and it is going to be Goonwon taking down that mid turret. There it is. Rapid Star was the final nail in the coffin. A 5-man push in the middle here. Wicked, meanwhile, is off down the bottom. He's going to have to start joining in here because the Azubu Frost are getting really feisty. They want to keep pushing that pressure. Wicked is going to continue damage on that bottom turret, though.
And if Azubu Frost doesn't pull back right now, they would be forced to dive in. You can see that's why they're pulling back. Wicked's going to get the turret. 3 turrets to 1 is going to be very good for them. He might have to ult away from this as Maokai is racing down to converge on him. He's just dashing away. He's going to try to ult out of this. He does not want to get caught. Good turret trade here. He might just actually try to execute himself. He's not going to be able to outrun Cloud Templar. He'll have to ult out of this if he wants to.
He's going to have to be forced to. And the damage. Oh, no, he didn't want to do that. He is dead, and that was a mistake from Wicked. You can see what he was trying to do. He was trying to get away from the execute. In fact, the fact that he used the flash, he burned the flash instead of his ultimate, he really wanted to save that, but now they're going to lose the dragon.
His ult was on cooldown until the very end of that, so he was trying to stall just long enough to get the ult. I still think running into the jungle would have been a better choice, but either way, that's another dragon for Azubu Frost. 4 kills to 0, 3 turrets to 1, 2 dragons to 0, and a monstrosity of a gold advantage right here. Azubu Frost pulling out all the stops with their early game strategy, and this is going to put CLGEu's turtling to the ultimate test.
So it's around about a 30% gold advantage, if my maths are correct. And I'm pretty sure there were some stats out there at one point that said if you were around about this level, the 15-minute mark, you were definitely going to win the game. Let's see if that rings true for Azubu Frost, because CLGEu are the kings of stall. Have they left it too late, though? We saw it before. I hate mentioning it non-stop, but Moscow 5 game, they were way behind. Massive kill advantage to Moscow 5. They have enough to stall it out. Froggen on Oriana could be able to stall it out just as well as Anivia.
And here we have split push coming in a bit. Woong in the bottom lane, Shy in the top lane on Vladimir. They're camping this lane, hoping to catch more members out of position. And they've done a pretty good job of actually surprising CLGEu with buff invades. They haven't had any control over their own red or blue buffs this whole time. Wicked with his ultimate will try to converge, but they're just hoping someone in CLG comes through their jungle. And there's the pings on a Froggen. Are they going to go? There they go!
Twister advancing, flashed through, and he's immediately had to flash straight out of it. Cloud Templar couldn't get in there. And the Shen? Is that the Shen ult? Yes, it was. Wicked used his ultimate there and cancelled it. Stayed in the bottom lane to continue farming. And that was a good force of many ults there. For really effectively one flash.
And the question here for Azubu Frost is how fast is too fast? How long does CLG have to stall before it's too late for Azubu Frost to start team fights? They've taken all the dragons. The Baron spawned at 15 minutes. How soon do they want to force that? Can they poke down these outer turrets? These are all questions that they have to answer really quickly. It looks like super early on they're actually looking around Baron and hoping to force here. If they do anything, I think they peel this. If CLG wants to come and save them, because the Baron at 19 minutes is going to be dealing a boatload of damage to them if they try to do that, but they're sweeping it with oracles. They know CLG has no vision. Honestly, if they would have started this 15 seconds ago, they'd have it by now. 2 members of CLG are off taking blue. Yellow Pete's the only one that could potentially scalp this. They might end up just sneaking this and getting it clean.
I believe they got spotted there. I mean, there's a ward there. Yellow Pete took a peek, but he didn't ult it. Now he just spotted them peeling off to the side there.
This.
Are they going to get close enough? They're not even making the move. Honestly, they can't even fight for it. It's going to be Azubu Frost picking up the Baron there on 19 minutes 44. Very nicely done, and now an 8k advantage.
Here they are waiting in the brush. CLGEu is going to scout here. They're going to go hard for an initiation. Here comes Ari.
Shirelia's Reverie been used up. They've dived on towards it. The Wicked's been caught out. Wicked will drop to the side there. That's going to be Woong that picks it up. But sorry, Rapid Star gets the final kill. And they just have to back away. And CLGEu now really up against it. 5-0, huge goal difference. I feel I've said these words many times before, but really Azubu Frost are really driving home. They're going to try and catch out Woong here. They need to turn this into a kill. You can see Crepper wants to get in there. Hasn't got the damage. 2-on-1 there. He didn't want to go for it. Cloud Templar comes around. He's going to try and dive onto anyone. Have they got the damage now? Can they force a fight on the turret? You can see Cloud Templar, he wants to push this advantage. The Orianna Bull going out there, and they're just having to step away from it. There's a creep wave coming up. It's a 4-on-4 situation in this middle turret, and they will take it down.
This is unreal. Like, protect the Kog'Maw. There's nothing to protect yet because he hasn't gotten items. He's no kills, no assists. No one on CLG has touched Azubu Frost for 20 minutes. They have been completely taken off their game. This is too far behind to start turtling. CLG has to take action here because they're getting pushed around. You give up an 18-minute Baron. You give up 2 Dragons. You give up 5 kills and 4 turrets by 21 minutes. You're putting yourself in a gargantuan hole. The death cap is going to be completed soon on Rapid Star. They have all their ultimates up. They're only down 1 summoner spell. The gold difference between Skarner and Maokai is over 2,000 gold. Cloud Templar destroying Snoopy right now. Just down the line, there's a 2,000 gold advantage for Woong as well. This is what happens when your team is 10,000 gold up at the 21-minute mark. And just overall, top lane even 2,000. So everyone just 2,000 gold ahead. That's why it adds up to 10. Haunting Guy's Sork shoots on Vladimir, the Abyssal Scepter, so much Magic Pen for their double AP composition. They now have an Aegis of the Legion onto Mad Life. He got that fast. It's just when you get all these objectives so early, you tend to just get everyone with the aura items, and with this Baron buff, they would not be surprised if they dive straight onto an inhibitor turret very shortly.
Well, of course, I mean, it could be Shy diving in there. Vlad ultimate across, just pull away. Cloud Templar diving in. They have such the comp that they could just engage on CLGEu. There's no reason to stall the game out. They could just drive it home. There's a wave coming up on the top lane. They could switch across to that one. They're going to see if they can get a little bit of poking there. You can see that Rapid Star is just off at the side. He wants to see if he can pop that charm out. They are going to go to that top lane. That big wave coming in. CLGEu cannot defend this one.
And this is the smart play in a lot of ways. They're taking the outer turrets before they go for an inhibitor defending turret. Phantom Dancer finally getting completed onto Yellow Pete, so he will be doing a bit of damage. They do have a Rod of Ages on Froggen, but they're indefensible outer turrets. That's 5 turrets to 1 now. Will they try to go out for that other bottom turret, or if they should dive? I think they should dive. It's in their best interest. The wave is getting held. Orianna is clearing it well. But they're so far ahead right now, I don't see how CLGEu could repel this if they go for it.
In OGN Championships, when they got that round back, they managed to pull it back 2-1. CLG was so down on themselves, they knew they'd given it away. Will they do it again? Azubu Frost looking incredibly strong in this game, and they are just going to switch things up, playing it safe, going to clear out that bottom wave and take the bottom turret. They are not in any aggressive, crazy situation. They have it in full control. 11,000 gold difference, 23 minutes gone. That is enormous, almost double in terms of what CLG have managed to gather themselves.
And they've really ended the laning phase remarkably early against CLG, which is stopping them from getting to some of those end game items. Oftentimes they can stretch the game out at infinity and just get the max items. Kog'Maw, not at infinity. It's not even close. They still don't even have an Aegis of Legion. Another dragon coming down for Azubu Frost. Their Baron buff is gone, so they might even wait for the next Baron. Their global gold advantage is just growing and growing. Woong going to be getting that Bloodthirster soon. They can probably take this next outer turret down without having the Baron buff just because their itemization is so far ahead. The death cap has been completed onto Rapid Star. He can one-shot any member of CLGEu, even if it was Wicked at this point, because they are just so far ahead. This is going to have to be a legendary turtle for CLGEu. They've had a couple in the past, but this is asking for a lot.
It is asking for a lot, and of course it's for a place in that finals. Could take it 2-0 if they can get it, but it's looking desperately dangerous for CLGEU and Azubu Frost. They seem to be the comeback kings. They've proved it once against CLG. CLG desperately fighting for this one. We got Snoopy off in the mid lane, so it would be a 5-on-4 push. Instead, they're just going to take away that blue buff. Starve out any of the buffs that CLG could try and get. Any gold advantage. And it is just growing, like you said. It's now 13.5k. The gold advantage continues. The True Shot Barrage off towards the top lane doesn't have enough damage to take down the turret wave, but it doesn't matter because now Woong is going to push on towards the turret. And there is the charm. He went on towards Wicked. Death by Grass actually used out there. Didn't know it, tell a lie. That was just a straight burst. My God, I thought that was a death by grasp. We managed to go pops. They're going to go towards Yellow Pete. Yellow Pete happens to bash away. They're going to just in advance. Crescendo hitting the entire team. Snoopy's going to get dropped. The Oriana ultimate is just not enough. He couldn't shockwave down, and that is Yellow Pete dropping as well. Snoopy went down. It's a 2-for-0 exchange, and Azubu Frost just destroying CLG.
And it's not even just the gold advantage, it's the level advantage. You look, Kreppo's level 9. Mad Life has 3 levels on him from a support perspective. Levels are worth a lot of gold, so it's not only 14,000, it's close to 20 in a lot of ways, and the poke just continues. They're all low, but they have a 2-man advantage. They might end up falling back and healing here because they can shop, they can buy more items. You can't say the same for CLG because when they're turtling like that, when they're losing team fights, they're not getting gold in almost any way. It's total starvation. It's almost a reverse of what happened to Azubu Frost in the last game when they were starving them out at the turrets. They're just starving them out in the lanes by killing them repeatedly. It's really total reversal from the last game.
Complete domination so far from Azubu Frost. 7-0, not a singular kill for CLG. It is really working very badly, considering the domination they had in the first game. 30 seconds until Baron is up. You can almost bet your boots that Azubu Frost will be going straight for it. They've all gone back to buy. How is CLG going to react to it? They're going to have to try and pull some absolutely legendary steal and then a crazy team fight.
And Azubu Frost has been back to base. They bought 10 wards. Cloud Templar picked up 5, Mad Life picked on 5. They might actually look to force a team fight here. They know that CLGEu is expecting this Baron. The 1 in 18 minutes was somewhat of a sneaky move. If they give up the Baron, CLG knows they're going to get dove at their Nexus. If they try to contest it, that's the point where they might be able to get a fight at Baron. But they're just so handcuffed right now. They're so far behind. They might just have to contest it. The 10 wards from Azubu Frost, as you can see them, all getting placed throughout the red side of CLG's jungle, will mean that Azubu Frost gets to peel if CLGEu tries to defend it. They're not going to do this Baron if there's the slightest chance that CLGEu gets to steal it. That's why they're going on it now. That's why they covered the wards. And here, they're just ripping down Baron. CLGEu not even close to it.
Azubu Frost looking good. CLGEu completely back. A free Baron for Azubu Frost now. That gold advantage now, 16,000. Epic proportions.
This is just total domination so far by Azubu Frost. From start to finish, from pick and ban phase, it seems, they have stopped CLGEu's comp from getting rolling. There's no damage on CLG. There's no resist on CLG because they don't have any gold. They don't have any levels. They don't have any kills. Azubu Frost destroying them in every facet. From the very beginning, they took the red buff away from CLGEu. They never gave it back, aside from that one time Kog'Maw had it. And now, they're looking to end.
And this is the domination we saw at Taipei Assassin's turn against Moscow 5. Are they going to get down on themselves? Will CLG struggle out of the back of this one? Will Azubu Frost finish the game? Almost certainly they will. 28 minutes gone. We saw a 35-minute first game. And Azubu Frost looking very close to picking up a second game within that time. Look at that wound just off the side. Shredded that tower to half health already just with that singular wave. Yellow Pete, he's trying to draw him out here. Yellow Pete cannot go 1-for-1 exchange with Gloom Wound.
Nobody can right now, and that can be said about almost every member of Azubu Frost. This is the split push a little bit that we saw TPA was so successful with. Instead of just sieging one turret, they bounce back and forth from mid to top or mid to bottom over and over and poke down slowly on all the towers. Eventually, they will get one, and there's a charm.
Wow!
Immediately gone on Yellow Pete. Not a chance.
Absolutely dropped in seconds. Very nicely played there, and Azubu Frost now going to take that inhibitor. They're going to turn across and go straight towards the bottom lane. Just going to tank it straight up because that turret will get dropped in a matter of seconds, and they go on towards the next inhibitor. CLG in desperation times here. Azubu Frost are going to take this game. I can confidently say that one. There is no way in hell at 29 seconds they can draw this one back.
Yeah, I can just wait to see some mysterious throw after you said that, but really, I think you're correct here. This is the third inhibitor potentially going down. The Baron buff is up. Yellow Pete's still down. Everyone's full health. They still have ultimates. They only had to burn the R1. It's almost up. And here's the initiation onto Wicked. No way they can fight back.
They're diving straight on. The turret goes down. The inhibitor's going to go down. Shy just forces them away. CLGEu surely realize their goose is cooked. They are going to get dropped. True Shot Barrage goes across. Lee shreds them. Crescendo. Froggen going to get dropped. Snoopy gets dropped. Froggen just about gets away with the Vladimir ultimate. Will finish him off. Yellow Pete is going to go down. Wicked goes down. It is an ace. And it's about essentially... Oh, Yellow Pete got... Oh, no, he goes down eventually. I was going to say, did he get away with that one? No, he did not. Azubu Frost take it 13-0. Total total domination from Azubu Frost there. Such a strong performance off the back of the last one.
They went all in. They were ready to counter CLGEu, and we've seen two incredibly one-sided games here. It was just domination by CLGEu with their poke composition, and now domination by Azubu Frost with their early game roam. Crush them with Thari, don't let them protect the cog, and now they really got to go back to the drawing board because that was honestly the most one-sided game we've seen in the entire tournament, and that's counting group stage.
Yeah, absolute domination. No doubt about it, Azubu Frost taught CLG a new one there, and CLGEu are going to have to put their heads together. Can they revert to the poke strat? Will they have anything up their sleeves? They're going to have the blue side. They're going to be back in there. How are they going to counter it? Because, you know, they tried to play safe, but Azubu Frost really pushed the pace on them.
They just knew what was coming from CLG. They've had so long to study. They got caught out by that poke composition in the first game. This is the composition they were ready to have. They got their power picks. That Ahri really caught them off guard. They could not hold their turrets in the slightest. Even though the early ganks didn't work out for them, the pressure just pushed them off. They were getting completely crushed really that whole time. 13-0-33. You can see many people involved in all those kills. Fantabulous team play from everyone on Azubu Frost. That's the mental toughness they have. They got destroyed in the first game. They came back and crushed. Can CLGEu do the same? The next best of three coming. The first set went all three. This one's going all three. These semifinals are nuts.
So good. Words are being made up about it. Fantabulous. I like it. I like it. That is definitely a word we can use in the future. But honestly, I mean, coming off the back of that, what on earth? I mean, how would you react to it? They're going to have time to think about it, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go to a commercial. It is 1-1. Azubu Frost versus CLGEu. Who will Taipei Assassins get in the final? Last game coming up.